Hi everyone, I'm Shaylin here with Reedsy. Today I'm going to be talking about staying motivated as a writer. Motivation is something that a lot of writers struggle with. Probably every writer will struggle with at some point. So if you're feeling demotivated, it's completely normal. Pretty much every writer is going to face demotivation at some point throughout their career, probably within every project even. I do hear a lot of writers worry that if they're feeling demotivated, it makes them a bad writer or not a real writer, and it's just something super normal that basically everyone deals with. Sometimes feeling demotivated comes from external factors outside of your writing, but sometimes it comes from factors within your writing. You're just feeling kind of blah about a project and you don't really feel like working on it. So here are a few tips to help stay motivated. My first tip is to finish something. This is something that I realized when I was about in the middle of a novel. Being in the dead center of a novel is not the easiest place to be in terms of motivation, I have learned, because you can't see light on either end of the tunnel. You're so far into the book that it doesn't have like new book excitement, but you're so far from the end that it's like, when am I ever gonna finish this stupid book? That's how I felt in the middle of my book. And you know what fixed it? It was taking a break from the novel for a week to write a whole short story. When you're in the middle of a book, sometimes you feel like you're not making progress. You know, you can write thousands of words and it doesn't feel like anything in the grand scheme of a novel. So you never get that sense of completion, the satisfaction of actually finishing a project. But if you take a break to write something short, something you can complete really quickly, it kind of gives you that sense of completion. You get the satisfaction of finishing a project, which can be really, really motivating. So I've learned that when I'm feeling demotivated, the thing that helps the most is to just take a break to write something short that I can finish. Sometimes even a poem that I can write in one sitting will do the trick. Take one day off, write a whole poem, and it's like, okay, I can do this, I can finish a project. It gives me a little boost of energy, and I've talked to a lot of writers who say that they find that that really helps. My next tip is to stop and edit. Often the demotivation comes from feeling like our piece isn't working or feeling like the piece is bad. If I'm not feeling too keen on my novel and I don't feel like writing it, it's probably because I'm not happy with the quality. Usually if I'm happy with the quality, I'm excited to keep writing. But if I'm not happy with the quality, I don't really want to work on it because I'm not excited about the piece or what I'm producing. So sometimes stopping to edit and go back and fix things, bring it up to par, can give you the motivation to keep going because now you're excited about what you're writing again. My next tip is to try to make writing feel important. This is something that I have been doing basically since quarantine started. This is never something I really did beforehand, is to find a way to make writing feel important or kind of like an event. In the pre-quarantine age, I used to do this by setting aside a day to go write, usually at a cafe. And I found that this was really motivating because it was like I was really dedicating the time to writing. It was like, I'm going out to go write, I'm going to be there for several hours, and I want to make the most of it, you know? I was kind of giving that time to writing. It's harder to do when you're stuck at your house, but I've been doing that by kind of trying to schedule writing and view it as something important. Like, on this day, I'm gonna write at this time, and it's my event, it's my thing that I'm going to, and I'm gonna be excited about it. Trying to make writing feel important rather than something you have to do. Sometimes this is just like a frame of mind. Can be really, really helpful. My next tip is if you've been feeling demotivated and you haven't written in a while. Sometimes you feel demotivated and you don't know how to get back into writing. It happens, I think we've all been there. If you've been feeling demotivated and it's kind of got you into a writing slump where you haven't actually been working on anything, the easiest way to get back into it is to work on very easy but fun writing related tasks. Jumping right back into drafting your novel is probably not something you feel that excited about. It's like going from 0 to 100. So try to find a way to engage with your project, even if it's not that productive. So reading the draft over really helps, doing some brainstorming really helps, but it can also be something really seemingly unproductive, like making character mood boards or playlists or something like that. Because it's just a way of engaging your project and thinking about your project and making yourself excited about the project, so that then the step to drafting is just a little bit shorter. I also think it really helps to reread or rewatch or re-listen to your inspiration. If there was a piece of media that initially inspired you or was one of the things that inspired this idea, reread, rewatch, whatever it is, because it's what initially gave you inspiration, so it's likely it'll give you some inspiration again, even if it's new inspiration. So you come across a book and you're like, this kind of seems like maybe it could remind me of my book. Giving that a read might give you some motivation, might give you some new ideas. And my last tip is to give yourself time to just think. When I'm really motivated to work on writing, I'll be thinking about writing all the time. And when I'm not as motivated, I won't be thinking about writing it. And so giving myself time to just think, I find is really useful. So the way that I usually do this is by listening to music that reminds me of the project. And I'll either just like sit there and listen to it and think, or go for a walk and think. Give myself time to just think about the book. And I find that doing that 1 to 3 days will give me a lot of motivation, a lot of ideas, kind of get me back in the mindset of the project and make me want to write again. It's a really simple thing, but it's actually one of the most effective tricks that I have found. So those are my tips for dealing with demotivation as a writer. I know that it's something I personally have been dealing with a lot since quarantine started. I think the reason is because normally I get a lot of inspiration just from little details that I pick up in my life. And since I haven't been leaving my house, there's nothing new to see or experience, and there's really nothing to give me any kind of inspiration as a result. And so I've been dealing with a lot of demotivation as a result. I think a lot of people have been, but some of these tips are things that I've been implementing to help me get back into writing, so I hope that they can help you as well. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos from us. We've got new writing, editing, and publishing tips every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time.